So we've had plans for a couple of weekends to, first of all, we were going to do a trip to the Dry Tortugas, and the Dry Tortugas are about 70 miles to the west of Key West. It's a little island with a fort on it, and we're going to go do some diving, some snorkeling, some fishing. And the weather's just been terrible. It's been very windy, and when you live on an island, you kind of live and die by the wind. So the wind is directly proportional to the size of the waves and how rough it's going to be out there. So it's been windy, and we missed the Dry Tortugas weekend, and then the following weekend we're going to be in a fishing tournament or a fishing trip, and we canceled that as well because the weather again was not cooperating. But it's times like these that we really appreciate living in Key West. So there's so much to do, and in the lower Keys, you have the Keys kind of spread out, and you have a wide area where there's a lot of protected water. So you can run around in boats in there. There's little islands where you can go hang out, where people take their families, their dogs, their kids, their barbecue grills, their coolers, all that stuff, and just a ton of places to explore. And depending which way the wind is coming from, if it's coming from the north, which it did one day, the water on the south side of the Keys is a little bit protected, at least for a few miles out, and then vice versa when the wind is blowing in the other way. So at this point, we just really thought about how much we love Key West, and the title of this is Key West, I Love This Rock. And it's because no matter what, there's always something going on, there's always something to do, and this video is a little bit about that.
We are cruising Morpho, based out of sunny Key West, Florida. Due to COVID, we are working almost strictly from home, so we decided to buy a catamaran and make it our full-time home.
This is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy.
I'm Cindy, and this is Dave. Together, we are trying to retire before retirement. That is, we both work full-time, but try to enjoy life and cruise the waters as much as possible on evenings, weekends, and holidays. Join us as we try to beat Father Time and cruise the warm, tropical waters of the Florida Keys, the Bahamas, and beyond. Hey, and hit subscribe to cruise with us and watch us learn. We will improve at the video production, we promise. Good morning. This morning we are headed up to Dave's house in the Upper Keys. Not really the upper, but more upper than Key West. And we're going to pick up the little center console, and we are going to take it. It's currently on a trailer in his yard, and we are going to go get it and put it in a dry rack that's close to where we store Morpho, so that on the weekends, if we want to scoot around and go somewhere quickly, we can. So that is our plan for this morning.
Flying high. Sun in the sky, sun in the sky, you know how I feel.
It's another really windy day, so rather than take off and head down the ocean and get our butts kicked, we're going to take off and go through the back country, which is all protected water. There's islands everywhere. It knocks down the wind and makes it really a nice ride, even when the wind is howling and the ocean is very rough. So right across the bay, there's a spot where we can get fuel, and we're a little low on fuel. The trip's about 25 miles, so we fueled up, head out under the bridge, and head for areas that only locals should go visit, because it's very shallow and there's hard bottom everywhere, and you really got to know where you're going.
So hey Dave, can you talk to me a little bit about why there is a garden hose on the side of the starboard engine?
I couldn't find the plug, and so I had the little adapters that click on there to attach the hose to. So I just put the garden hose on there so that we could get the boat here.
Gotcha. So good job, MacGyver, because it got us to the 20-mile trek from Summerlin Downs here to sunny Stock Island, Florida. Very marine.
We'll
This is the new life of the boat. So
we'll get over the Suzuki place and just get another plug, and we'll be set.
Awesome. And in other news, there is a rat living on the boat. He's living in the anchor thing up front, so that's another dilemma to solve today.
Well, we haven't had a break in the weather in any of the weekends, but finally in the middle of the week there was a break in the weather, and we had some friends in town. A friend that I haven't seen in a long time. He's there with his wife and 2 kids, and so we decided, since the sunset is rather late, that we would cruise out to the backcountry, go to a beach and hang out. His 2 boys had a wonderful time snorkeling around the area, walking around the beaches looking for shells. So it was a great time to be had for all. And again, this is one of the great things about being in Key West. There's always something to do and somewhere to go.
It's a new life for me.
Though it is still a little windy, my mom is in town, so we decided to go over to Sandbow. It is a beautiful reef about 5 miles from where we keep Morpho, so it's an easy run for us in the wind. Beautiful place to go out for the day and explore the beautiful waters. Well, we're back out in the backcountry again, headed to yet another local-friendly beach. It is just on the other side of the other beach we explored, but this one really does have a different vibe. We get anchored up, and the first thing we see is a shark. You know, most people swim away from sharks, but not Dave. He decides to go right for it, just for the sake of getting some good footage.
As you travel through the backcountry, you end up passing through many mangrove forests, with canals sprawling from left to right. It's quite beautiful, and the wildlife you see is amazing. These mangrove forests are extremely important for the wildlife, but also for erosion control. As the storms pass through, they help hold the sand in place and create a significant amount of wind blockage.
As you can see back here in the backcountry, no matter how windy it is out there, you can always tuck in here and find some nice, smooth water.
As I mentioned earlier, when you're on the water, you really got to know where you're going. This bird's eye view gives you kind of an idea of what's to the left and what's to the right, and you really got to be right on target. It's easy to see from the bird's eye view, but not so simple when you're on the water. I did such a horrible job of underwater photography in the Marquesas that I thought I would try on my mask, get everything aligned, and try it in the house. Okay. There's a grouper. There's a grouper. All right. I'm putting you on the stringer.
Why do we love this rock? In addition to all the water activities, we got to check out a couple of really cool concerts.
Sun in the sky, sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Birds flying high.
Stay tuned for next week's episode where we show you how we prepare for deep sea fishing and we run out to the Dry Tortugas for some pelagic fishing, snorkeling, and diving. Maybe a little spear fishing too.